Hi everyone. For today's book review, we're going to be checking out an unusual yet endearing type of ship, the Whaleback Steamers of the Great Lakes, and in particular this book, McDougall's Great Lakes Whalebacks. Now, the Whaleback Steamers were a type of vessel developed for the Great Lakes, on the Great Lakes, by Captain Alexander McDougall. He came to the conclusion that the rectangular, square, boxy type of ship was not the most efficient vessel shape to run on the Great Lakes. He thought a more circular formed vessel with a rounded bow and stern would be much better able to take the extremely rough conditions that the Great Lakes storms could throw. And so he set up a company, built a couple of barges, basically unpowered circular versions of his steamers, and after initial success, decided that if these ships were great at being unpowered barges, why not plonk an engine and then have them run as actual steamers, which he did. Ultimately, 43 Whaleback vessels were built. This includes the barges and the steamers. They are quite unusual looking vessels, as you can see from the pictures in the corner. They were often seen with skepticism, and for the detractors of this type of ship, they were nicknamed the Pigs because of their snout-like ends at the bow and the stern. However, they were exceptionally strong vessels, and some of them had incredibly long careers, and one of them has been preserved, the Meteor, and can be viewed and explored as a museum ship. This book, which is written by Neil Zoss, is part of Arcadia Press's Images of America series, and this particular book has recorded the photos of pretty much every one of the Whaleback steamers, and we get a wonderful view of the construction of these ships, the gradual expansion from little barges to quite large steamers, and to my favorite, the singular passenger steamer that they built, the Whaleback passenger ship, the Christopher Columbus, which you can see up here as well. This ship ran an express service between Milwaukee and Chicago for almost 40 years, and in that 4-decade run had an almost spotless safety record. It was tarnished just once when it was involved in a freak accident where, slightly out of control, the Christopher Columbus bumped into the legs of a rather large water tower, and the tank that was at the top of the water tower fell and basically cut a swath through the superstructure of the Christopher Columbus, unfortunately killing 16 and injuring another 20. And you can see the extent of the damage in this incredible photo right here. This particular book is typical of the Images of America series and the type of books that Arcadia Press produces. It is a wonderful, very well-detailed photo album of Whaleback steamers, and it gives you a broad brush history of each vessel, its career, and any distinctive features that made it unique amongst all the other Whaleback vessels. When Alexander McDougall built the Whalebacks, he did not do it in a vacuum. He was part of many visionaries and idealists who were trying to find different ways to make vessels more economical during the late 19th century. And aside from the Whaleback steamers, there was the Doxford turret ships, which were another lateral thinking way of trying to create a more efficient ship, and also quite successful. All of these fascinating movements and ideas and experiments are also detailed in another book called Bizarre Ships of the 19th Century, which I reviewed earlier, and you can find the link down below. I have a soft spot for the whalebacks, and particularly the Christopher Columbus, and depending on what you read, some are quite derisive, whereas others are a little more understanding about what Alexander McDougall tried to achieve. This book just gives you the broad brush, it leaves the opinions to the reader, and it's quite good because it just allows you to enjoy the history of each whaleback vessel, what happened to them, which ones were sunk, scrapped, or in the case of the Meteor, saved for preservation. For this, it is a 4 captain's hats. The photo selection is fantastic. Quality will differ, obviously, between the type of camera, photographer, and when the photos were taken, but irrespective, all the photos are fascinating and all the captions are highly detailed. So this is actually a really good introduction and a broad overview to whaleback steamers. There are a few other books about whalebacks. There's one called Pigs at Sea, again, the derisive term, but this one details just the sinking of one of the whaleback steamers, the James P. Colgate. And then for those of you who are fascinated on the economic sense on what it was like to actually run the whaleback shipping company, or I should say the American Steel Barge Company as it was more officially known, then this is an equally fascinating book. Whaleback Ships and the American Steel Barge Company by C. Roger Pellet. Slightly on the dry side of things, but again, for those who are interested more in the engineering and financial and economic side of things, then this is well worth a read. And if there are any other topics about seas, maritime, shipping, let me know in the comments below, and certainly if I have a book about them, I will review them for you. So until next time, enjoy and happy reading, everyone.